gave you enough time. Black Phone 2 spoiler review. If you wanted to see the movie, you would have already. If you didn't get a chance to though, I understand, we're adults, we got shit going on. Not everybody could be glued to the movie theater like I am. I will start my review not spoilers, and I'll let you know when the spoilers come, so you could still go see it if you want. Roll my jingle. Low effort movie reviews. I really fucking like this movie. A great sequel. One of the few times where it is better than the original. Smile 2 did that recently. I actually think horror films weirdly are better at doing sequels than other genres of movies. Black Phone 1 was a great movie. I don't think it's the scariest movie. I think it's more of like a not horror friendly horror film, meaning it's not going to scare the fuck out of you, but when you go back and watch it, there's scary moments. But all in all, it's just a good story with horror. If you're a horror fan and you watch Black Phone 1, you're like, yeah, it's cool, but it was lackluster. This movie will probably scratch the itch that you were missing the first time. I came prepared this time. I have lots of notes for the spoiler portion. We're not here yet. We're not there yet. My overall quick feelings before we get into spoilers, I do think this is the best horror film of 2025. Debate your mama. Obviously, I know you guys love Sinners and Weapons. I do too. Sinners is a great film. I don't think it's a great horror film. I just think it's a great film that has horror tones. With Weapons, I have to go back and rewatch it. I'll probably do a video on that now that it's like on streaming. I want to rewatch it because I had a terrible theater experience that I'll talk about in that review. That left me slightly sour, and I don't know if it's because theater experience was so bad or because I actually didn't love the movie the way everyone else did. So I'm going to rewatch it. We'll talk about that. If you've watched these 3 movies, then you'll understand exactly what this movie is. Black Phone 1, obviously. Nightmare on Elm Street, which I think a lot of people saw in the trailers. I do think that it is an obvious inspiration from Freddy, but it does make sense in the universe. It's not just like a stupid ripoff. And then 3 is Sinister. It's the same director who directed these Black Phones and Sinister. And you could tell there's moments like in the dream sequences when he changes the camera to this old film, a lot like Sinister when you're watching those videotapes. It is a perfect culmination of those 3 movies. If you enjoy those 3 movies, you will love this movie. Knowing that I'm not getting another Nightmare on Elm Street for a long time is fine. I'm happy that this like scratched the itch, especially because Robert Englund is very old. I don't know who could take over for him. I saw people talking about Jim Carrey, which I will watch that movie. Jim Carrey as Freddy, I will watch. But I don't think it's going to happen for a long time or maybe ever. And that is the end of my spoiler free. We're going to talk spoilers now, moving forward, okay? If you don't want to hear them, get the out. Get out. Hey, this is present day Jordan. That was past Jordan you were just talking to. I hope you think he's doing a great job. I'm here to tell you he did too good of a job. The spoiler portion of this video became so long because I was just lots of notes detailing everything that happened in the movie to talk about it because I thought it was so good that I decided no one's going to watch the movie or no one's going to watch my video. One of the two. Making a shorter video to tell you, I don't think any second of this movie was wasted. I think the entire movie, beginning to end, every scene means something to the bigger picture, and it's worth a watch. You should really go see this movie. I think it's a very good movie. I'm gonna strip my review down a little bit and just tell you my opinions instead of retelling the entire movie, okay? So starting off with some big positives for me, this movie's very, very heavy. Focus of the entire movie is getting over trauma, whether it's Finney with the grabber in the first movie, Gwen with her dreams, Dad with alcoholism, Mondo with his past, Ernie with his dead brother. There's so many things that these characters need to get through to get to the next part of their life, and that's the main gist of the entire movie, is that it's there's a trauma you have to tackle to get to the next thing. It does a good job of balancing that message and still being scary. That is the thing that a lot of horror films fail to do entirely. You either get scary, like Terrifier is just scary, right? Or you get the opposite end where you get movies like Hereditary, where the metaphor is so much that I don't like the horror part of the movie at all. And I don't care how you feel about it. Hereditary is a bad movie. We live in a world where we don't get both very often. Whenever I get a horror film that balances both well, I want to say go watch that movie. Another big thing about this movie is I think it's actually pretty funny. There's a lot of much needed comedy happening in this movie, whether it's from Barbara, who is a character who's frankly kind of annoying but has funny moments, or Gwen. Gwen is very funny in this movie. I think that the comedy is a much needed part to like get through the heaviness of the movie. I think the heaviness of the movie kind of hits a climax at one point that actually had me tear up a little bit. Finney has a very good monologue in this movie where he's talking about how scared he's been and how he can't get over that. And Gwen actually comes to his protection because she's not so much a physical protector like the first movie. She's more of an emotional protector in this movie. If you see it, you'll know what I'm saying. In that moment, she just kind of goes, "You're the bravest person I've ever known." And it's just brings a tear to your eye. This movie is stylistically super, super cool. The grabber early on in the movie says, hell isn't actually fire, it's ice. You watch throughout the entire movie, the whole thing, it's set in ice, but it's also the way it's shot is cold hues and filters. It just kind of gives you that feeling of isolation and coldness that I think is really cool. And I think stylistically, it's awesome. They do a lot of really cool things. The opening credits is him crawling out of ice, which I think was a nice touch. A frosted window where you see his mask, another window where they throw snow on it and it forms the mask. Just little touches like that were really cool, and I just really enjoyed it in the movie. Ethan Hawke killed that shit. He does a great job being the grabber. He's very menacing throughout the movie. They dug deeper into the grabber and his lore, but not enough to like make him cheesy or corny like they did with the fucking strangers. Yeah, I'm not done talking shit about the strangers. He doesn't talk a lot in this movie, to be honest with you, but the lines that he does have are super effective. Gwen is praying and he's like, scripture, God's not here, you're alone. Menacing, scary as fuck, scary line. So I think that he does a really good job, but that perfectly segues me onto some of my negatives. Yes, Ethan Hawke does a great job of being menacing, but he is not in the movie a lot. What the movie does with him is very effective, so you don't feel that he's not in the movie a lot, but it takes a very long time for him to finally show up. You see a couple of flashbacks, you see a couple moments of him hacking up kids in dreams, things that he all did in the past, but nothing present day until halfway through the movie. Then he finally shows up. I didn't notice it the first time. The second time watching the movie, I was like, okay, yeah, it kind of took him a while to get here. So that's a nitpick of mine. Most of my nitpicks are super nitpicky. I probably wouldn't even change them. I think this movie played out so well. However, I have some. No movie's perfect, right? His kills, although good, shout out to Terrifier for making it okay to kill kids in movies, because he's killing the shit out of these kids in this movie. There's a kill with a window that's like slices a kid's face in half that is a super sick kill, and something that might not got away with before Terrifier just kind of kicked the door down on that. The kills in here are good. However, he doesn't kill anyone new present day. Just kind of beating Gwen up until we get to a point in the movie where he starts beating up Barb and her husband. That part is confusing to me. I think it's slightly a plot hole. The reason that he's able to fight Gwen, her dreams aren't necessarily just dreams. They're somewhere in the middle on this like spiritual realm, and he's able to access her dreams there. Because of that, he's beating the shit out of her in her dreams. At some point, he ends up also beating up Barb and the husband, and they're not in the dream. So I don't understand how he can beat them up. And if that is the case, where he's so strong or powerful, whatever, that he could beat people up outside of the dream just because Gwen's around, why hasn't he been doing that the entire time? It would make him a lot more scary. It would have made for maybe a cool kill or two. Honestly, those were the perfect people to kill. Barb and husband would have been perfect to kill because they weren't super pivotal to the story. Should have killed them. When I watch my scary movies, I want someone to die. Probably my biggest nitpicks about the movie is it just took him too long to get there. No new kills. That's kind of it. I hope that they don't make part 3. I didn't necessarily know I wanted to, so I guess if they make a story good enough, then I'll take a part 3. All in all, I don't think they need a part 3. If it ended right here, it would be a great way to end the series, and I would be completely fine with that. That's my feelings about Black Phone 2. Do you agree with me? Have you seen the movie? What are your feelings about it? I would give this movie a A+. Really, really good movie. Go watch it.